It's the semifinals day here in Dallas, Texas at ESL Pro League Season 7 Finals. FalleN, let's start with the quarterfinal. FaZe, obviously you guys have had an upper hand against FaZe for a very long time. Well, so basically since you guys ever played against each other. So after this loss, are you a little bit worried that you maybe lost the power over them that you had?
No, definitely not. I think this series against FaZe, it's always very difficult to beat them. Like every time we beat them in the past, it's not something that we just roll it over them. It was always very close match. They always had the chance to beat us as well. Yep. It's just that I don't know how, but we always have been able to beat them. And that's I was pretty intrigued about that. Like so many close matches, and in the end we almost beat them, right? So it was very intriguing for me. And this time I think we're in a process of getting better with the team, with getting better with Stewie, getting better communicating English, and we know that we have to go one step at a time, and we're satisfied. Of course, we wanted more on this tournament, but finally we reached playoffs again. We had a big chance to win the first map. We kind of lost some rounds that we should have not lost. If we played in again, most likely we wouldn't lose it, but it's just part of the game. What matters is the round that you played in, not the rounds that you were supposed to win. And they played better on the second map. Definitely, they deserve to win.
Yeah. Now, I already talked to Stewie about the in-game leader change. Prof already talked to Cold Zero at a previous event at IM Sydney. So I want to get your perspective as well. How does this really affect you? That I know that you kind of swap on different maps, but that's pretty much it. So how has this affected you, really?
Yeah, for me it's a little bit confusing because I'm still leading on some maps, and there are other maps where I'm not giving any calls at all. So it's not that my brain has 100% like changed. Okay, now shut up and just play, do your things, but don't try to organize everyone. So there's still this in-game leading part on me, and everyone is still listening to me, which is great. And now that we have Code Zero, it's another mind with some different ideas that I previously had. It's good because it's helping us on some aspects, but we're struggling on other aspects. Like Code Zero is a new game leader, so of course he feels a little bit nervous on the match. Like he doesn't know if he's gonna win or not. It's just of the first call. It's just the same feelings I had when I start calling. And I think as soon as we have time to pass on those struggles, it's gonna get better and better. So it's been good. I'm liking it.
Right. Now, we've kind of seen your performance go to the levels that you guys had when in the early Phelps days, really. I hope you don't mind me saying that we've really seen a dip from you. So what is this? Why is this, really? Why do you think that is?
If anyone knows this answer, please let me know. I'd love to know as well. Yes, and I feel like I could have been giving more. And it's hard for me to really know an answer, right? I don't have an answer for that. I have been doing the same things I have been doing in the last years as well. And what I can do is try to do a little bit more, right? So I'm trying to go over demos a little bit more, and I put myself starting from this tournament, trying to play a little bit more individually as well, like try to play more games, even if I don't like it too much, like playing more FPL games, Rank S games, and those kind of things. So I'm trying to challenge myself a little bit more, but I try to don't go too deep about it, because otherwise you get crazy, right? Yeah. You're gonna start overthinking, and that's another bad thing as well. So just trying to play my game. It's gonna click one time or another, and I have to learn more. I have been ahead of other people for other eras, but right now people are ahead of me. I just have to accept that and try to learn from them.
All right. Now, how would you really evaluate EPL as a whole? Obviously, given your previous tournaments where you really exited in the groups very early, so do you see this as a positive, really?
Say it again. What's the question?
Do you see EPL overall as a positive thing for you guys, considering the previous tournaments that you guys had?
We love playing the ESL tournaments, and EPL is another great tournament from them. Yes, I think it's a great thing for the community. The fact that they bring in teams from Asia, teams from South America right now, I think it's great for the Counter-Strike scene as a whole. This is very important, and it's one of the only tournaments doing that. So I think this is one of the biggest standout points for the ESL tournament.
But what I meant was from your point of view as how you perform, considering that you guys actually placed in the playoffs this time.
All right, Ben Glendo, guys.
That's all right.
So I think from our point of view, definitely it's a improvement since we are able to reach playoffs this time. Some very close games in the group stage against NIP, against Optic, some very challenging games. And if you have seen our latest results online, you have seen that even winning some matches, we have been suffering to finish in close matches. So the fact that we won some matches on this fashion, on this tournament, it's a big mental fortitude for the team. We're slowly getting where we want. And of course we wanted to win the tournament, but we lost for the first and second best teams in the world right now, which is Australia and FaZe. So there's nothing to be ashamed of. And the team right now has the right mindset. Everyone is feeling the progress and it's committed to it. So I think it's going to get better soon.
Okay, now you guys have a long string of tournaments ahead of you guys. 4 tournaments, if I'm not mistaken, maybe even more, if I disregard Cologne, really. So we've seen you do this before. Really try to attend as many tournaments as possible. Is this the best way that you can see that you can improve, really?
I think for this current state of the team, it definitely is. It has been like that on the past 2 with Phelps, for example. Yep. We really need more games. We need to go over situations. We really need to experience defeats and winnings to really improve as a team. So I think definitely playing as much as tournaments we can is going to help us this moment.
So what's the goal here? Where do you want to be by the end of this stretch of tournaments? By the end of right before Cologne, really?
Where we want to be? We want to be on the top, baby. We want to be on the top. If we're going to get there, no one can tell, right? But what we know is we're going to work hard for that. The team's committed. I'm committed. We feel a light in the tunnel. And you know we're capable of, right? We have done this in the past and we can do it again. So wait for us.
I mean, that's kind of like a statement to the community as well. So I think we can then end it there. Thank you very much. We're, of course going to come back with more interviews. We've got Mo Sports coming in right now. So you can look forward to that.